Hey, this is the Wealth Building Educator, and I briefly want to discuss what you do when you get a raise. A lot of the local districts here in Texas have given their educators 3%, 4%, even 5% raises. And those are significant raises, especially when you get to the 4 and 5% range. So I just want to talk today about how you can really use that raise to pad your retirement. So we are used to living on a certain amount of money each month that goes automatically into our checking account. And that's what we've been living on for the last 12 months based on our salaries for the 2020 and 2021 school year. Well, for this upcoming year, like I said, a lot of us have gotten raises, and I want to talk about the best thing to do with that money to catapult your retirement. So obviously you can use the after-tax benefits of your raise to work on clawing your way out of debt. If you're at that next level of wealth where you are just in wealth accumulation and wealth building, then I recommend that you put your entire amount of your raise into retirement. And we're going to talk about that today. If you can maintain your current standard of living and just use that money to invest, then you'll see how that extra money each month can really, really, really help you in retirement. So we're going to go ahead and look at this from the beginning. So let's assume that you are a teacher, you are making $60,000 a year. Of course, you get that 3% raise, and we're not going to talk about 4 or 5% today, but we're going to talk about a standard 3% raise that most districts have received. As you see, you're looking at about $1,800 a year, which is $150 a month. Not too shabby. Now, depending on your tax bracket, it's probably a chance that you bring home about 120 of that if you just let it go into your account and did nothing as far as retirement is concerned. And of course, if you're trying to claw your way out of debt, like we said earlier, it'd be a good opportunity to use that money to go towards your debt snowball or your debt avalanche. But right now we're going to talk about investing. So some of your investment options, of course, you decide to invest pre-tax, and you're looking at a 403B or a 457. Of course, if you're in the public sector, you're looking at, or I'm sorry, like a company or something, you're looking at a 401k. But today we're going to talk about a 457 and a 403B. Now, some of the investment options that I like, of course, I'm a guy who was a huge fan of the index funds, and my two favorite funds are VTSAX with Vanguard, and that is a very, very low fee index fund. And then we have the FZROX with Fidelity, which is actually a somewhat new fund. It's only a few years old, and that's a zero fee fund. And both of those funds actually invest in the entire market. VTSAX invests in more companies than FZROX, but FZROX, if I'm not mistaken, is at around 2,500 companies right now. So let's look at the time frame. So let's suppose that you have about 20 years left to work. And we're also going to assume that you're not going to get any raises during the next 20 years. So you're just going to stick straight with the $150 raise, $150 a month raise that you have gotten for this particular school year. Now, we all know that over the next 20 years, you're going to get more raises. You might get 3% every year. You might get 1% one year, 2% one year, but you are not going to stay stagnant. So we are just making the assumption that you stick with your 150 extra per month at this time. So when I ran the calculations, I like to use the more conservative numbers. So I like to use 8%. I plugged in 10% and allowed it to adjust 2% each way. So let's look at 8%. So let's assume that you put in $150 a month for 20 years. You have approximately $83,000 in your 403B or your 457. And that's not too shabby. There's a lot that you can do with $83,000. If you have a 10% assumption, you're looking at $104,000. And if you have a 12% assumption, you're looking at $131,000. And remember, during all of these years, you have lowered your taxes because you have put this money in pre-tax. So you didn't take the money and pay more taxes up front. You are deferring your taxes. So you're able to pad your retirement and also at the same time reduce your current year taxes each year by doing this, which is obviously, I think, an intelligent thing to do when you're working on a wealth accumulation. Now, you could go either way. It could be a 7% return. It could be a 13% return. You never know, but these are rough numbers. Even if you look at the 8%, everyone would rather have $83,000 in their retirement account as opposed to not having that extra money. So if you can just continue to live the way you have been living and throw in that $150 a month, this is what you will approximately get. Now, we are not, we haven't even discussed how you have so many families, so many households that have 2 educators in the household. So now you just look at doubling these numbers. You know, you can look at having an extra $250,000, $260,000 in retirement on top of whatever pension that you are due to receive. So it's very, very important that you think about, you know, leveling up by using whatever raise you're getting by continuing to live on what you made last year and using this money straight for retirement. And once again, if you're still working on getting out of debt, it's more advantageous to throw all of the extra money towards debt. Of course, you're going to pay taxes on the money now, but you are able to knock out whatever that interest rate is on the current debt that you are paying off. You're able to knock it out with this extra money. So the bottom line is, whatever you do with this extra money, do something that's going to be advantageous to your financial situation. You know, don't blow it or anything like that. Use it to get out of debt or use it to invest in your future. That's all we're going to really discuss today. I am always open for any questions at thewealthyeducator@gmail.com. I really enjoy doing these videos. I get a lot of questions about advice or what should I do, who should I invest with. So I'm going to start doing little videos like this, and you know, whether it's 10 people who it helps or 100 people who it can help, that doesn't matter. I just want to be able to help as many people as I possibly can. So, you know, always feel free to share any information, you know, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and share these videos, because I do think that they'll be advantageous to people who are on the road to financial independence. So, hey, I appreciate you all. Thank you for rocking with me and coming to this channel. All right. You all have a wonderful day and good luck on your journey.